بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, He says, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ. Indeed, the prayer, it forbids sins and evil actions. So why is it that we have مِنَ الْمُصَلِّينَ, from the people who do pray? عندهم كثرة الذنوب, they have so many sins. وهم عصاة, and they are always disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ولكنهم يصلون, but they pray. They pray. ومع ذلك يعصي الله سبحانه وتعالى كثيرا. They disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala much. ليش لماذا? Why is this the case when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the prayer, it aids you in staying away from these things? Because they do not have قلوب حاضرة. They do not have a heart that is present at the time of praying. They do not have خشوع. They have no idea what they're doing in the prayer. They think it is مجرد قيام وقراءة وركوع وسجود ودعاء وتشهد إلى آخره وتسليم. They think it's just merely the movements of the prayer. But that's not the salat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about in the Quran. When you stand up 17 times a day and you say, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, guide us to the straight path. Did you know what that meant? Were you focused when you said it? Did you say it and did you have this istish'ar? Did you have this actual realization that I'm asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guidance right now? This is why you find from the people, those people who read the Quran and then right after it's easy for them to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They read an ayah about stealing and then they could go and steal. An ayat about zina and then they go and do zina. Ayat about backbiting and then they right after that they can go and backbite. Lesh, why is this the case? ما عندهم خشوع. They do not have khushu' in their prayer. And the one that doesn't have khushu' لا ينتفع بالصلاة. He will not benefit from his prayer. He will not benefit from his prayer. And this is why some of the Salaf, they would say, ربما أنت تقرأ القرآن. Perhaps you're reading the Quran. والقرآن يلعنك. But the Quran is cursing you. كيف? The Quran is cursing me and I'm reading it? Lish. Because you're going through those ayats about zina and stealing, all the prohibitions. And you're falling into every prohibition that you just read. The Quran is supposed to be حجة لك وليس عليك. It's supposed to be a proof for you and not upon you, and not a proof against you. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allows us to actually benefit from our salat, that we benefit from our prayer, and that we benefit from our actual reading of the Quran. And we do not simply treat the reading of the Quran and our salawat just مجرد ممارسة, just simply exercise and things to do and some tahriq and just movements. No, but we actually understand that this is our sillah. This is our connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as long as this sillah is mateen, as long as this connection is strong, we will have strong iman. And the more that this sillah, that this connection between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, us and this salah, us and this book, this Quran al-Kareem, as much as that weakens and fades away, hakada, like this, our iman will start to, waliyadu billah, fade away. As the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he says, indeed, your iman fades away like a thobe. إن الإيمان لا يخلأ في جوف أحدكم كما يخلأ الثوب فاسأل الله أن يجدد الإيمان في قلوبكم. Indeed, this iman, it fades away just like clothing fades away over time. فاسأل الله. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أن يجدد, that He renews الإيمان في قلوبكم, the iman that is in your hearts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أن يجدد إيمان في قلوبنا, that He renews and He strengthens this iman that is in our hearts, and that He allows us to actually benefit from this prayer, from our reading of the Quran, from our a'mal salihah, from our actual good deeds, that we actually see some thamarat, some actual benefit, some fruits from it. And then we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allows us to meet Him when He is radin anha, when He is pleased with us. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.